Good morning. Sitting here trying to get everything working. And, you ever hear the word technical difficulties? Well, I'm pretty good at them, and I'm hoping everybody can hear me and everything's good. Maybe I should go back and watch my last couple of shows, but I would like to welcome you and pray that each and every one of you are doing good today and that yesterday that had spent time with the good Lord Himself, praying and accepting the word and God Himself because I did and I enjoyed it and I learned a lot. I will say I didn't call them out, but I did bring up a couple of things to preachers that just things I seen and one of the, one that I really touched me was if you're a preacher and you're out there preaching on the Word of God and you see another different bringing up other churches and religion and there's not but one. That's God. And no matter how you try to say it, it's going to be an argument, just like everything else. I'm going to say a quick prayer. Lord, thank you for today. I hope that you can lay your hands on those that are suffering today, that are lost. That, Lord, you can help provide for those that need. Be with those in Ukraine, such a sad situation. Lord, help those who are in sick. Help those that really need you in their life. Be with all those out there today traveling. Help bring them home safe and help those who are home. Lord, we all know you're number one and there's no other way. In God's name I pray, amen. Thank you. I'm going to do that. And I say it every show. I'm sorry if you don't believe in the good Lord. And I don't have no problem with you reaching over and turning the button off. I'm going to touch base on a couple of things. Come to you as author country Mike. And if you wonder why, right here, you'll see three books. The Last Reunion, Wilbur, which was a children's book that I was very proud of, and the book You Don't Want to Read. And there's actually two books here. And I started my third one. And as I was writing my third one, I realized these things that I was discussing was coming true. And if you read these books, the book You Don't Want to Read, you'll see most of the things I cover each and every show reference something in this book that I see. My opinion, my thoughts, whatever they was, that was me. Today, you see that I made a note on there. This is about electronics, AI, and addiction. Now, how do I compare or say addiction with electronics? You know, there is nothing you do today that you don't use electronics. Not only is these electronics used, and you can argue the fact, and a lot of us don't want to admit it, and a lot of us really don't want the technology and the up and coming rules of your life of electronics. If you don't know electronics and you're getting old like me, sometimes it makes you very angry. You don't want to deal with electronics. And if you ask me, Mike, when did you start seeing things happen with electronics? When I went in the Army in 1980, little did I know that that was my first experience with electronics, radars, communications, repairs. That was really my first hands-on experience with electronics. And maybe not, but that's where my mind, and then I look back at the boat, there really wasn't much there. But today, you don't go out there that you don't, and I don't care who you are. Now I will say, I'm gonna say your name, Ricky, my cousin. He don't have one of these. I take my hat off to you because I don't see how you make it without. But I'm going to touch base on some things about these electronics, and it's sad. But again, how do I relate addiction to electronics? Well, if you sit back and listen, and thanks to those younger people I work with that try to get me to understand all this. I appreciate you. I serious. I appreciate you. You guys know I go out of my way to let you know I appreciate you, and it's really a good feeling to see young people get out there and try to make something of their life. There's so many that's lost, and it's not just young people; it's also old people. Seeing them walking up and down the street, backpacks on their backs, nowhere to go, no food to eat. Yeah, some of us are out there trying to help these people, but some of them can't be helped. Some of them don't want help. But when it comes to electronics, where do we where does it come in play in your life? And I know where it comes in play in my life. Look at what I'm doing right now. I couldn't do this without the electronics, without the technology. Now, how far does this go? I don't know who's out there watching this. And I'll tell you why. Because this could be being watched as far as China, many miles away. Technology. You know, I love the United States of America. But today, this is something that is affecting probably every family in America, probably in a lot of your other countries. I'm sure it is because you don't get away from electronics. They could, whether it's military, the marine industry, the automotive industry, the medical industry, the communications industry, it goes on and on. And if you ask Mike, what is your education in technology and electronics? Probably about as much. Most of the ones that points this out to me agree it's being used against you. Now, Mike, how do you know this? How do you not know it? How do you not know every time you pick this phone up and let's say you come to something, look at your screen, and you're like, oh, let's go to Facebook. How do you know they're not going on Facebook the same time you are, getting your information and your friends' information and those who you communicate with? You don't. I can tell you what I can do, and I tell you what you can do. You can take that phone, put it in your pocket, and I'm not even gonna say you could probably turn it off and take off running down that road or in them woods. If they want you, they'll find you. You're not going to go through any public place that you're not going to be seen. Nowadays, you're probably not going to pass many people's house that you're not being seen on camera. And doesn't that alone make you wonder what the heck is wrong with people? You don't you don't go anywhere without hardly being on camera. If have you ever excuse me, have you ever felt like when you're in the shopping store and you're standing there and you're looking at something and you're piddling around, whatever you're doing, and you look up, you're like, oh wow, I'm on camera. It don't matter where you go. I'll tell you something else. It's going, and this is, hey, look, I don't have to lie to you, and I don't have to hide from you. On our boat, you can't walk through the living quarters and go in a room, and I could lose my job for probably saying this. And you know, I'm not hiding nothing. I'm just telling you the honest to God's truth. When you walk in and you're going to your room on that boat that I live on, I'm surprised they're not watching you in your room. And I walk around naked in there for sure. So if you are, hey, enjoy. That's all I can say. It's probably a good joke. People are laughing. But we cannot walk down the hallway without being on camera. There's probably not many places that we can't walk on that boat that we're not being watched. You can't get in a lot of vehicles just to go to work. You're driving their vehicles that they're probably not listening to you and monitoring where you're going. And there may be even hidden cameras. And again, why? You're grown people and they don't trust you. And it's liability. They're looking to see anything they can get to go against you. They can use it against you. And AI, as like I say, you pick your phone up, you're looking at it, they may be looking at you. You don't even know it. Excuse me. Go to Facebook. Now, this is something, and I may get kicked off of Facebook. I like it. But who monitors them? Who polices them? Really nobody. We've seen Zucky in there in courtrooms, and this man's made millions. And he could take me down in probably 5 seconds, probably get me knocked off here. I'll be calling Elon, which I doubt if he'd answer. But they know technology. They know the extent of what it can be used at. Freedom of speech has been used against us with social media. If they don't want what you got to say to get out there, they shut you off. I'm not a journalist. I'm not working for CNN, Fox, ABC, NBC. How many is it out there now? Just think when I was a kid, there was three, maybe four. But all right, what can you do about it? I can't probably do nothing. I doubt if you could do anything. I doubt if the government can do anything. That is AI is so strong that it's already implemented in our lives daily. And there's going to come a time when you don't walk down the street that they can't see at any point you turn if it's not already there. Does this bother me? This should bother you. It bothers me because there is going to be, or there probably is, no privacy in life today. Addiction. How do I come up with addiction in electronics in AI, electronics. Boy, I'm fixing to step on some toes here, and we can dance, we can twirl, and you just do whatever you want to do. And you may want to just reach on over there, like I say, and turn this old man off because I'm not lying. One thing I can say, I'm probably, well, I can't say I don't support it because I'd be lying. I'm not going to lie to you. I guess I do. A lot of us do. This is not a babysitter. This can be used for education in a lot of ways. There's nothing I can't find out from this right here. Then I look to my left. I'm watching myself on this screen, and electronics. I got guitar amplifiers, electronics, guitars, electronics. I can go on here and I can hook that amplifier up and build me a app in here, go to apps and buy in on them, and voila, I can control my music. I can add music. I can do technology is beyond my knowledge. There's a lot I can do. There's a lot I sure can't do. But this is not a babysitter for kids. And every time now that you hand it to a child to allow it for hours on end to control that child, you are wrong. And she may not like that I say this, but I have to say to my wife, and she's like me. She don't agree with a lot of it, but she tries to do things, play games, card games, board games, to find out that if you do any study on electronics and addiction, especially your phone and social media, this is right at one of your number one addictions, probably throughout all the countries, but the United States for sure. This is an addiction. And you're sitting there and you're going, hmm, why does he say this? It's nothing wrong with my kid to be playing with a phone. It keeps him or her occupied, but for hours on end, that you can walk away from your child and it's right there. No, it don't matter what they get into. Well, I got the child's out. You may have it hours on end. And I know I probably got family members saying, he's so, I am. I'm not going to lie to you. I probably am crazy. They ought to lock me up and throw the key away. Old man don't know nothing. He just over there jabbering on. But I can tell you my jabbering's telling you the truth. And if you look in that book right there, the book you don't want to read, guess what? You'll find out that I'd already started talking about this way before it got out of control. As a young adult, parent, I bought my kids games that you could hook up to the TV, that you could sit there and you could play. And I love to play them games with my kids. And even, wait, let's back up. Even my nephews, I can remember the Pac Man, which I was already playing and enjoying. My thing in growing up was foosball. If you don't know what that is, it's a little table, a bunch of men, ball, and I was pretty good at it. Actually won a lot of tournaments in Germany, and where they say that it's where it originated, and I'm not sure that that was, but anyway, I enjoyed it. Pool, billiards, whatever you want to call it. I love it. Gamble. I'm not gonna lie to you. Lost a lot of money, won a lot of money. One time I wanted to go professional. Hard to go professional in anything. I probably could have done good. I don't know. But as I've told you over and over, all I really knew was work. From the time I was 13 till today, work. Right now, I should probably be working instead of running my mouth, which I'm pretty good at. But if you're wondering why I do what I do, why am I here talking about anything? I put it in words. As you can see, there's 3 books right there, and there's 4 published. I didn't make any money. I did the try to get in touch with bookstores and doing the thing, but as I talked about the other day, scams. This was a scam, and in the state of Indiana, they protected those who was running that scam. They was probably making a lot of money on this scam of taking authors' money, telling them what they could and how they could get you on TV and everything else and make movies because Wilbur, which I was very proud of, which this right here had a lot of meaning to me. And I've seen a lot of people read it, young and old, that have enjoyed it. But Mike, where was your money? They ripped me off. That's just basically the way I see it. They ripped me off. So I give it to you free. This is me. This is who wrote these books. You're getting it free. You may not like it. You may just want to turn me off. Electronics. I wrote it on a computer, not a typewriter, not on pen and paper, computer. 2005, 3, whenever I started writing, and I really enjoyed it. Around that same time, I started designing. And I wish I had my other screen up here. I throw some stuff that I've drawn. It may be childish to you, but it meant a lot to me. And believe it or not, I can take that drawing and I can make a lot of things happen. I've got designs that I've done with electronics that, you know, not out there today. But it's one thing that stops a lot of people from doing and pursuing their dreams, and that's money. And with technology today, money is what most people are after. And I spoke to a preacher this weekend, and the one thing he did not do or did not ask for was money offering. And I told him, I said, that was interesting. And it was. You know what he told me? God will bless me with what I need. Amen to that. And I feel God helps direct me to do these shows and discuss these things. And that's why I'm telling you, this is not a babysitter. And if you're looking at your children and you're handing them this phone, or you're giving them a iPad, or you're giving them a computer, or you're giving them a game, and they're hours on hours on hours every day playing these games, it's an addiction. Now, tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. But when you got a young child, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, on up to teenage years, and you remove that piece of electronic away from them, you take it away from them and they throw in a fit, you got a problem. So let's do some comparison here. You go out on the street and you find a drug addict who is addicted to drugs and you take away their drugs, they're probably going to hurt you or kill you, or they're going to hurt themselves because it's an addiction. They feel they need it. They feel they got to have it. And when you take it away, you are threatening them. Now, this has become like a blanket to them. This is their way of getting away from everything else. Reality. Those games you're playing are not reality, they're fictional. But as I talk about this, I want you to look at something. Look at what games they're playing. Even some of the simplest games out there. And I don't ask me to name them because I don't play them. And I probably should do some studying before I get up here. And a lot of people are going to say, "Yeah, you should." Well, I'm not CNN. I'm not Fox, and I'm trying to make you aware. Then you can jump on Fox or you can jump on CNN. You can jump on ABC or NBC or any of the other ones, and you probably find out the same thing. But you know what's sad? A lot of people today say, "I don't want to hear that. I want to shut the door for this. I want to shut old Mike off. Don't want to hear it. Don't don't involve me. It don't really relate to me, even though it does." But as I was saying before, I was speaking to some of the younger people at work, and they was telling me about the addiction of the phone, of the electronics, of the games. That this is like a number one addiction in the United States, even with smaller kids. And if you're sitting there wanting to prove me wrong, when you walk out the door of your house, how many times you walk out the door without it? How many times you got out the door and get 2 or 3 miles down the road and say, "Oh, I left my phone at home." Turn around, you got to go get it. You can't make it without it. Now I'm going to step on my own toes, your toes, and everybody else's toes, and we're going to dance. How many times you get in that vehicle that you said, "I want now, let's, here we are driving. Okay, I'm going to call somebody. Oh, wait. Oh, I got to call somebody. Oh, they don't want to act right." How much time did it take me to do this? And oh, I can do this and drive. Well, guess what? I'm as guilty as each and every one of you. Probably need to police myself a lot more than you may need to police. But how many times do you pull up at a stop sign? I want you to think about this. And you look next to you, and they're sitting there doing this. How many times you pull up to a stop sign and you're behind somebody and you blow your horn, and they're like, "Whoa, what they blowing at me?" Because we got somewhere to go just like you. It may not be as important as you or that phone call you're on, but it's a distraction. And a lot of people have died from it. Young, old, whether you was doing it or where you was a victim. Accidents, A lot of them probably very unintentional, but those seconds that you pick that phone up or you're looking for that phone, and it's just like eating. You reach down to get something, you've took your eyes off the road. That might come on. Well, if you and this is something I'm gonna kind of go off track about this, but I want you to think about this. I got told the other day in the state of Mississippi, new drivers don't have to take a driving test. Now, I may be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But you're telling me they go out there and they take a test and they get behind a wheel and they start driving. Now that's scary. And you know that driving test don't take very long at all just to get through it. But a lot of people that in my younger days, I listened to the stories of, well, he told me to go right and I went left. Or he told me to stop and get in the turning lane and I stayed in the right lane. We all make mistakes and you got to learn. But we don't need to learn everything from AI or from electronics. Yes, it's coming to that. I mean, think about it. You can buy a little plane, drone, you can fly it over to your neighbor's house and you can look see what they're doing. Well, the government does it every day. They can fly over your house and blow it up if they want to, and I hope they don't do mine that way. Got cars that drive themselves. But let's get back on track. See how easy it is to lose track of things, just like your phone, distracting you driving. And what's sad is we're all guilty of it, especially very young people that haven't been driving long. And a lot of them now, the way it sounds, don't have any experience of being behind that wheel. And I can tell you, hey, I got me a car, I got me a phone, I got it going on, and let's go somewhere. And they not paying attention. And guess what, parents? You haven't taught them. Guess what, schools? You ain't taught them. All you've taught them is, hey, it's okay to bring that phone to school and sit down in the classroom and it distracts you. Well, guess what? As it distracts you, as me as a teacher, I don't have to teach you, meaning you're not going to learn, but whatever you're learning here. And if you're really paying attention, you can learn a lot, but you're only going to learn what you want to learn. That's not good parenting. I can tell you that right now. And at my age, it's scary. And I can go on and on and on about electronics, AI, addiction. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell you. I'm not your therapist. I'm not your parent. Some of you are. Some of my kids may be watching. Think about what I'm saying. When your kids come, you're with them, and you hand them that phone, and they're there for hours on end. What are they looking at? What are they learning? What are they being taught? Because as a teenager, I heard the stories, and you wouldn't believe what my kids looking at. Yeah, I can. I've been there and I've done it by accident. I'm not by accident. I ain't gonna lie. You can get and do anything you want with this. Hey, I want a sandwich. I've got a sandwich. Oh, by the way, bring me a Coke. I can get me a Coke. Hey, see if I can find me some drugs. Hey, Bubba, what's up, bro? Hey, man, can I get What you got? What you owe? Right here. Well, guess what? Ain't no telling how many other people sitting there watching you asking for that. Now, I guess with DoorDash, you probably could get them to go get you a fifth of whiskey. Hmm. Or a six pack of beer. That's something I may have to ask somebody I know does DoorDash. You can answer. Interesting. But yeah, I'm babbling on and I'm talking and I'm good. That's what I enjoy doing. I hope I build a big fan base, popular. I've said it and I'm going to say it. You know, and I just realized I did not have the comments on stage where I'm seeing what people say and I don't see anything. And if I did, I can tell you I'm not a fast typer. So, and you talk about technical difficulties, I go to typing, no, my luck, I'll turn this thing off. And it's funny how things happen. And my buddy Richard says, well, record it and then review it and then send it out. Hey, let's just do it live. Let's just get it on. And if it don't happen, if I make mistakes, I'm human. Humans make mistakes. Machines make mistakes. Electronics make mistakes. AI makes mistakes. You may not believe it, but I'm sure as I talk about these things that as I talk, and I got a message. Look how distracting that was. I just got a message, and I don't know who it is, asking me a question, and it distracted me from you. Took away my trail of thought, and I know I was talking about technical difficulties, and it's so easy to do. And in today's world, even if you're watching your news media, a lot of times you see them go on their phone that quick, that quick. So if I was driving and I just looked down that quick, and do you know, as we talk about that driving and electronics, they're not supposed to be allowed in semi trucks. That happens every day. People going down the road in them big old trucks and legally 80,000 pounds. Some of them pull 100 and something thousand. And you in your little SUV or your little car or whatever don't survive on them running over. So think about addiction. Think about electronics. And if I caught your attention, think about them little ones. Think about maybe trying to take this away from them, trying to sit down with your child, teach them something besides here. Take this and get it away. So they go off in their fantasy land and they're learning whatever they're learning on that electronic device. Take it away. Play a game with it. Draw. Get you a piece of paper and draw. Hey, I can draw on a computer, but try some old fashioned stuff. Go outside and get muddy. Go outside. Wow. Just go outside. Do something out there. Show them what grass is. Show them what a tree is. Like, don't go at. Come on, man, getting a little. No, honestly, some of them have no clue. Some of them have no clue where I'm going to touch base on this. Where they're sitting there playing video games, and I've heard recently as young as 5 and 6 year olds picking a gun up and accidentally shooting somebody. Think about the teenagers. Think about these younger kids, and I mean kids, playing these games that they're steadily doing nothing but killing. Hey, this is cool. I just killed 340 people by blowing this building up or by taking this automatic machine gun. Well, this game is a lot different from reality, a lot different from pulling that trigger and dropping somebody right then and there. There's consequences, punishment, and I agree. Parents need to be held accountable, especially where a gun's concerned. Nowadays, they talk about gun control. I'm starting to believe in there's measures needs to be taken. I think the biggest measurement in gun control is first it starts at home, not in school. It starts at home. That if you own guns, and a lot of us own guns, you do it in the right way. You teach about how dangerous that gun truly is. That once you shoot somebody, they're not coming back. Once you drop them, they're not coming back. And electronics. Ah, wow. Think about it. Now, with your guns, and reach in there and get some. Lasers is electronic. Some of your scopes is electronic. I have something I can mount a gun on, and I can spin it, turn it, raise it, lower it. But that's electronics. That's what I can do. Just like robotics. Now it won't pull the trigger. I have to do that. That's not done electronically. I have to do that. And any child that knows how to pull that trigger needs to know the consequences. And that's something else. See how easy it is to get off track. Maybe I need to make a phone call. No, I do this to reach out to you. It may not make no sense, and you can always reach over and turn it off. But I'm going to spend my time reaching out to you to try and help. If anything, make you aware of things. One of my most important goals is bringing you closer into God. No, I'm not a preacher. I'm not going to stand up here and throw that book at you and tell you how much you've sinned. I'm not going to do it. You want to find out about that, go to church. But I believe in God, and I'm going to talk about God, and I'm going to ask Him for forgiveness and guidance, try to live right. And I'm going to try and help you realize there's certain things that we need to work together on to make life better for you, for me, maybe safer, a safer environment. In this gun control, I'm going to do a show on it, and I've got some more things coming, but I just feel like, and I apologize for it. I've been lacking. I've been how would you say it? Distract with other things. I do have a small business that happens to be shut down right now, and I ask you that do believe in God to say prayers. You never know from one day to the next what's going to happen. I may not be here tomorrow to be able to do this. I have family that's fixing to have surgery. You never know what's going to come of that, but you always hope and pray for the best. We are taught as Christians, those who believe in God, these things, anything can happen. Whether it's picking this electronic device up, looking down at it while you're driving, bam, wreck, took somebody's life. Whether it's somebody else doing it and hitting you and taking your life, picking that gun up, loaded, accidentally goes off, hits somebody, kills them. Walk out that door, fall down the steps, break your neck. Just reality. Accidents happen, incidents happen, stupidity happens. Then sometimes bad decisions happen, which I do a lot of. But I just want you to think about this show today, what I've said, and I will be following up on it. And as you've seen, I can babble on about a lot of things, but I do appreciate those who watch, and I do try to make sense of the things I do discuss. Maybe I don't. And with those who work with me, they'll tell you I'll argue with you. Sometimes I'll be ready to fight. But at my age, I don't get nothing done but hurt me. But I do appreciate your time today and hope you have a very wonderful day and safe day. And get a chance to say a little prayer for my family members and those who may need that prayer. I always need prayer. And I'm going to end this now, and I will be back on. I'm not going to say what time, but I will be back on, and I'm going to do probably my next show. There's several things I'm wanting to touch base on, but gun safety I want to do. Am I qualified to do it? I've been in the military. Does that qualify me? I don't know. Been a gun, excuse me, been a gun owner for many years. That qualify me? Accidents happen, but probably not. Have I had classes? Yes, many. So what qualifies? You can go get all the certificates you want, and accidents can still happen. Let me say that. So anyway, that's probably going to be my next one, unless something comes up that I want to touch base on. And I do appreciate the time. And have a wonderful day. And I'm going to say a quick prayer. Thank you, Lord, for giving me this time to reach out to these who I'm hoping can help. Be with those who are sick. Be with those who need you. Reach out to those who are hurting, those who are lost, those who need you. Lord, help guide us through the day. In God's name I pray. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful